All right, Peyton, thanks a lot for taking the time to do this tonight. I understand you have a new single out, or it's due to come out, called Dreams. So, Peyton, I've had a chance to listen to the song. Talk to me a bit about the song and what it's about and what listeners are going to hear on this track.
I have the biggest smile on my face every time somebody asks me what this song is about, because when they hear Dreams, the title alone, people are like, wow, that's a pretty cliche thing. Like, they think it's going to be very cliche. And then I'm talking about how I named a bunch of girls in there. I posted on Twitter the other night saying I named a whole bunch of girls in the song, and I'm pretty nervous for whenever they hear their names, and I'm pretty excited for it. And some girls said, oh, well, whoever those girls were that broke your heart, I feel sorry for them. And I'm like, oh, that is not what this song is about at all. You have no idea. The song basically is about every girl in Hollywood that I basically want to be with. Every guy will look at, a magazine with like a girl that's his age, or they'll see a movie or a TV show, and they'll be like, wow, that girl is so beautiful. But no guy ever comes out and says how he really feels about these girls, right? So I just decided to have the guts to go into a studio and take this amazing, incredible beat that was done by Chucky Thompson, who produced Notorious B.I.G. back in the day.
Nice.
And I decided that I was going to do this very controversial, uncanny, just different song and title it Dreams, the most generic thing I could name it, just Dreams, that kind of just, so it'll catch people off guard when they hear it. They'll be like, wait a minute, Dreams, this is what the song's about? And they go nuts over it. That's what I want, and I'm kind of happy. I got to see a little bit of that the other night whenever it played on a different place, and people went nuts over it because they had no idea what they were going to expect.
Now, I was just that leads perfectly to my next question, which is what has been the feedback and the response from people over this?
Definitely all positive. People are saying that I've grown up in a good way, that I've matured in my music, that my voice sounds so much better now, my lyrics are so much better now, the music is better, everything just escalated to a new point, and I'm very happy and very proud because I've been working on this album right now for a little over 15 months, and I think that I've just created this new sound that the world is going to love, and this is just a tiny taste of what's yet to come, because I've been ready. I've been ready for a long time, and I've been working hard for a long time to really captivate the world with good music, and I think I'm definitely on my way with this record, so I'm happy that people are accepting it the way that I thought they might, and even exceeding my expectations on what I thought would happen.
Now, you touched on another part that I wanted to ask, is, and I know you've been working on an album for some time. I mean, any plans as to when you're hoping to get this thing out, or when you want it to be out?
Well, you can't rush perfection, my friend, But even though I've been working on it for a very long time, and it feels like a lifetime that I've been working on this record, I think it's going to be very gratifying to the fans, because they haven't had new music from me in a while. My last thing that I really pushed was Cloud 21, which is last year, which I know you and I talked about that last year when it came out, and it's almost been an entire year. Next month it'll be an entire year since that mixtape came out, and I think the fans are really going to appreciate this, and it's going to grab a whole new audience, because I've worked so hard, and I know this music is going to be amazing, and I know what people are going to feel whenever they hear this music, and I just can't wait for that moment. So, no dates yet, but stay tuned.
If you're just joining us here on Raider Nation, we have Peyton Sanders live on the air. Well, it's not necessarily live because it's a pre-recorded thing, but it might sound live to some of those that are listening. And Peyton, I got a lot of questions off Twitter, as I usually do for you, but before I get to those things, what's sort of the next step for you? I know you just touched on the album, and you don't really have a date in mind, but what's sort of the next? What's your sort of ballpark game plan here, without saying too much?
Well, definitely touch radio. Radio is an important thing, and by radio, I don't mean only your station. I mean every station who plays music around the country. I'm very thankful that your station plays my music, and I'm just ready to take over radio and grab a whole bunch of fans. Like, Twitter is an amazing tool, on Facebook and YouTube, and that grabs a lot of people, but there's a lot of people who never really get on social media, or they don't pay attention to that kind of thing, but if they turn on the radio and they hear a song they love, they can become instant fans right away. So I'm ready to grow my fan base and to bless the world with this music that I've been working so heavily on, and I'm very impatient at the moment, which seems crazy since I spent so long working on an album. But I'm very impatient to just release some music, and I'm happy that Dreams is the first record.
Now, one of the other things that I wanted to ask about radio is does it necessarily matter to you whether it's FM radio? I mean, obviously it's not going to be AM, but I mean FM radio or XM radio in terms of, you know, where you want to get your music out?
Of course, it'll probably start on XM radio because that's where a lot of songs do start, and then they get pushed to FM afterwards. But, you know, we've been sending the song out to tons of radio stations, and everybody has had the exact reaction that I thought that they might have, I hoped they would have, and that's that they love the song. And it's a breath of fresh air, they said, because it is so different than anything you've heard nowadays. So I'm pretty fortunate to have all the radio stations kind of already on my side. It will take a little while for it to cycle around the country and hopefully around the world if it gets that big, but it's a slower process, but I'm ready for it, and I can't wait until radio starts playing my songs and I can just get in the car and listen to it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's going to be a pretty cool feeling when that day comes. One of the other things, though, I wanted to ask before we get to these Twitter questions is radio something like when you reach out to radio stations, did you also chat about like going in the studio, sort of doing the whole radio tour thing that lots of artists do?
Absolutely. That is the next step, most likely, is that I'll be going around the country to radio stations, doing interviews, having fans come by that I can meet and, you know, sign autographs and take pictures for, and that's going to be an amazing opportunity for me. That's the next step, most likely. I did not quite think about that when you asked me prior, but now I realize that that's definitely the next step, is going around to these radio stations so that they can actually meet the person behind the music.
Yeah, and you know, that is an important part, and it must be a good feeling to hear that you have heard the response that obviously you were hoping for, but it's a response that's kind of like, you know, this is a bit of a new sound, and with this day and age, with literally there's hundreds of thousands of artists out there, that's got to be a good feeling to know that you're getting that kind of response.
It's something that I've always dreamed of, honestly. I've never wanted to be like anyone else because I felt like I've always been different my entire life. Like I've just wanted to achieve greatness and do bigger and better things than what society had told me that I should be doing. And I just think that for my music to replicate that and to be, you know, a mirror image on how I am as a person, I think that that's an amazing feeling, an amazing thing.
All right, I got some questions off of Twitter now, and there's some good ones as always. We'll take a handful of them because there's some pretty good ones here. One of them is from Peyton Sanders at Mailbox, wants to know, when do you think you'll be doing a show in the United Kingdom?
Ooh, the UK. Well, ironically, my manager is in the UK right now,
nice.
Hopefully setting up some awesome things for me to do out there. So I've been trying to go to the UK for a little while and do a show. I have a lot of fans out there and a lot of very dedicated fans who send me mail all the time. So I think it'll be in the very near future. I would love to be out there as soon as possible. Even if I just go out there and I schedule a meet and greet, that's still very, very fun to do. So we'll see.
This one comes from it's Sarah Marie XO, and this is a good question. Peyton Sanders, what has been your favorite memory this year so far?
My favorite memory this year so far, it would have to be probably whenever my song played for the first time, even though not a lot of people have heard it yet, but I got about 4,000 tweets, which is pretty substantial, and they were all people freaking out who have been fans from 3 years ago or even 3 days ago, and I think that was just an amazing feeling. I have forgotten what that felt like. I remember that feeling whenever I first released my EP, Underrated, back in 2012, and it just was an amazing feeling to get on Twitter and see all these people freaking out over something that I've worked so hard on. So that's definitely the best part of this year so far.
This question is from Cecilia. Wants to know. Okay, hold on a second. Lost it here. This is a good one. Do you ever creep the P Sanders Army Instagram account, or I guess in general, really any fan accounts?
Yes, I am very guilty. I'm very guilty of creeping on the accounts that are good. There's a lot of Instagram accounts out there that post better pictures than I post on Instagram, which is sad, because they're the same pictures I post, and then they go and re-edit them, and they look 10 times better. So appreciate all you guys out there who have fan accounts, who have fan Twitters, fan everything, who post stuff on YouTube about me. I love you guys. That's awesome. I'll never get tired of that. This is so great. I creep all the time. Yes, I'm a creeper.
This is another one from this is one from at on Cloud21. Now I don't know what OTP stands for, so I'm just gonna ask it anyway. But who is his OPT? I'm a little old here, so this might be some sort of lingo that I don't know yet.
Is that like somebody other than P. Sanders? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of thinking like
P. Sanders, onions topped with pickles. I don't know what that means, man. I really don't know what OTP stands for.
I don't either. I was hoping that it was one of these things that people say.
People, I don't know.
I was hoping it was one of those things that you hear people like that only in high school say, and like it's been a long time since I've been in high school, man.
Wait, so what's the question again?
Who is your OTP? That's what it is.
They want to know what I think OTP is?
Yeah, or it literally just says who is your OP or OTP or whatever. So I don't know. I never heard anything like that.
I really wish I knew what that means. I feel old too.
Well, I'm going to ask this person because now I'm curious.
Yes, let me know. Actually, after this interview airs, there's going to be 1,000 tweets in my mentions about this.
Well,
I'll find out soon enough.
Well, the questions are coming in right now as we're chatting, and so there's already probably a bunch of stuff that you're getting. Okay, what was your favorite part? This is from the same person at on Cloud21. What was your favorite part about the Dreams video shoot in Chicago?
The Dreams video shoot was incredible. There was the awesome opportunity that I gave my fans to be a part of this video, and a lot of them actually got to play celebrities in the video because, like I said earlier, Dreams is about all the girls in Hollywood that I like. So that was awesome for them because at first, whenever they were all getting hair and makeup and everything and costume, I didn't realize that these girls were fans. I thought that they were actresses that were hired on for the video because this video was on a very high level. And I finally realized, a few hours later that these girls were actual fans of mine that were given this opportunity, and that really made me feel very, very happy and very proud to be who I am and do what I am because I got to, make a few girls' dreams come true, and that's the whole point of everything, Ironically, the thing's called Dreams, but I made their dreams come true, so that was my favorite part.
This question is from P. Sanders 21. When are you going on tour? Or do you plan on going on tour?
Tour, they always want to know. Well, my first single's got to come out first, and then the music video for it has to come out. It's not set in stone yet. I know they want set in stone dates. They're dying for set in stone dates, but I can't really say anything yet. When it gets set in stone, that's whenever I'll tweet it out, and everybody will get the message.
I got a question for you. Give me a sense of what it's like, from your perspective, how the industry's changed since I first chatted with you. I'd say that was 2012. So, how much have things changed from an industry perspective, as an artist?
I've realized a lot of things. I've realized that you can't really keep too many people too close to you or tell too many people too many things because, your secrets will get twisted and rumors will be spread. And so I've realized that I just need to focus on what I do best, and that's music and entertaining. And I've learned to keep a level head and just really focus on everything that's in front of me rather than looking what's around me and behind me and all the negative things. There's a lot of just negative things about the music business that people never really touch on, but there's a lot of positive things that if everybody really focused on those, and I think that's what the superstars do, they focus on those positive things around them, and that's what excels them forward. So I've just decided to, basically lock myself in a studio for 15, 16 months and just work all day, all night, just developing new sounds and new styles and writing the best lyrics I possibly could create. And I think I've created just a different work ethic than that whenever we last talked. Before, I would work on stuff whenever I needed to, but now I'm just all work, and eventually the play will come. But it's just work, and I love it. It's something I love. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it.
Does there ever that worry that it won't work out, or that things won't go the way that you hope they will? Is there ever that sort of, not necessarily doubt, but that sort of like, I wonder if this doesn't work out, like, what do I do? Do you know what I mean?
Right. I do get asked that question from time to time, and I think I've seen my potential so many times in my dreams. Literally, when I go to sleep every night, I think I've seen what's yet to come in a way so many times, and I've had these moments replay over and over in my head so many times that I know if I wasn't destined to do this, I wouldn't be doing it right now. I think I would have just stopped a long time ago. I don't really have the worry that it will never work out, because I think if you put your heart and your soul and your ambitions and your all into everything that you do, there's nowhere but up. You can't fail. So as long as I keep having this drive that I have today and the amazing fans behind me, it won't stop. I
found out what OTP means, and I would have never guessed that this is what it meant. It means one true pair, which apparently is like, you know, it's
pants. Like, what does that mean?
Well, here's the thing. What it means is it's basically the reference to like a great couple. I don't really get it, but I'm not a 14-year-old girl.
like the ship has sailed. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. See, something that I understand.
The ship has sailed. All right, let's see. One true pair. My one true pair. I mean, I'm probably like way off now too. I'm gonna just say Jay-Z and Beyonce. That's my one true pair.
Okay, fair.
I don't know. They've been married for a while. I'm probably way off. I don't know what this means.
I think that if I had to say, and I have, you know, my interpretation means nothing here, but I would say that's a pretty good answer, because that's what the question sounds like.
I don't think
they didn't ask about what.
Yeah. I don't think they're meant to know girls' lingo very well, so.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully I don't get too much backlash for this.
Believe me, I don't know any of it, very much of it either, my friend. It gets worse as you get older, apparently.
I don't know. I think it's a girl thing.
Now, one thing I wanted to ask, which is also pretty cool, is you did a lot of photo shoots with Peyton Ray, who we've had on this program before, for the Elise Paris, you know, for their dress collection and that sort of thing. What's that? That's got to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. They always want my shirt off for some reason.
Well, you're pretty built guy, dude.
They turned out really nice, and in fact, I have a giant framed picture from 17 magazine that's hanging in the back of my room right now, and it's from the beach photo shoot that we did over last summer that was in the December issue. And I'm just very, very happy to be a part of them, because, like I said before, I'm not a typical rapper. Like, I do different things. You know, I don't really like to be at all the clubs and all the parties and stuff like that. I like to do crazy stuff, and like modeling is just real fun for me. I don't want to be that typical person that people say he's trying to be like everyone else. So modeling with Peyton Ray and everybody and having fun and doing 17 magazine. I mean, what 19-year-old kid wouldn't want that? You know, it's really fun.
Well, they are good-looking photos, I gotta say. You know, I was trying to look. I was looking through the magazine when it came out, and I just saw a couple photos of her of that set, of that shoot. Excuse me. And yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. Here's a question from David Merritt in Boston. If you were to recommend a pizza place in Atlanta, where would you go?
Pizza place, man. I didn't know Atlanta was known for pizza. Let's see. I just go with Domino's. Like, that's so easy for me. It's just Domino's. But pizza place, man. Oh, well, there's a place in Roswell, which is kind of outside Atlanta. It's called Vintage Pizza. It's pretty good. You'd probably like it, but I mean, it's a little far to go if you're in Atlanta. I wouldn't recommend the drive if it's like an hour. But nah, Vintage Pizza's good, but just stick with Domino's, man. That's good enough.
That's an awesome answer. I hope they're paying you to say that.
I hope so too. I'd love free pizza. Come on.
Now, one of the other things that I was going to ask before I get to a bunch more of these questions is, and like half of these questions are you going to be touring, which you've already touched on. But one of the things that I wanted to ask is, when you get people that come up to you and say, "Oh, you know, you're just like so and so," or "You're just like that, this and that," what is your first sort of instinctive reaction when somebody says that to you?
I used to get Eminem a lot, and I think it's just because he and I do have a higher pitched voice, both of us do. Mm-hmm. I think that's mainly what it is, and because of the tenacity and like the aggression that sometimes I rap with, people say, "Oh, you kind of sound like Eminem," which is understandable. But now with my new sound and people that have actually gotten a little taste of the album, not even just the first single, but a few songs off of it, they realize that I have become my own artist now. So I'm kind of thinking that whenever the album does drop and a few more singles do drop, people aren't really going to refer to me as another rapper or another artist or anybody, which is good, because that's always kind of what an artist wants. They don't want to be considered like somebody else, you know, they want to be their own person.
Is that a hard thing to do in a day? Like I mean, I can go online and I can find 100,000 rappers if I wanted to. So that must be a really hard thing to do to say to differentiate yourself from other people.
Well, what you gotta do is, you just have to embrace other styles. I spent a lot of time listening to other music. I would go and listen to 60s music, like the Righteous Brothers, or I would go and listen to some country. And I don't even like country, but I just embraced a whole bunch of different musical styles and genres. And that's whenever I decided, I got myself away from the cliche rap that you hear nonstop in Atlanta, especially. And I decided to, just pull different styles and embrace different cultures and everything. And I think that's where my style came from. It developed and was born out of me embracing what I never really embraced before.
And you know what, I like that answer because that's what I do. What I do every day, obviously, is I interview musicians, whether it's for Radio Nation or for the newspaper that I write for, or whatever I'm doing. And yeah, I come across tons and tons of artists, and I like that answer because I don't really hear that answer from when I ask people that same question. So that's a good answer. All right, if he's considered, okay, this is interesting. If he's considered, this is from On Cloud 21, so hopefully we can understand this question. If he's considered at Peyton to prom, that prom account thing that we chatted about last time, / going to prom with Diana, is he, okay, so I think she wrote here if he, but I think she means is he considering going to prom with Diana?
Okay. I've actually been thinking about her account, so I hope that she's listening. I have to be out of the state on the date of her prom, and I felt so bad. And there's another account too who wants me to go to prom with her. And so I'm thinking, Paying the prom, DM me your address. I'll send you a nice big package of everything, and it'll be my way of saying, I went to prom with you even though I didn't get to. I'm so sorry I couldn't go, but I definitely want to do something special for you. So please DM me your address, and I'll send you a nice package out there.
This question is from Cecilia. Who would you like to do a collaboration with?
Well, my album has some great collaborations on it, people, and I think, but my dream collaboration, of course, has to be Jay-Z, because he's just been my idol and inspiration ever since I was little, and that's just a big deal to me, so probably Jay-Z.
Of all the places you've been, as in either personally, like whether you've traveled just sort of personally, or places you've been for your career, where is one city or one state that has stood out to you that you didn't expect? You're like, you kind of came in, you're like, hey, I don't really know much about this place, whatever, and you left thinking, wow, this is a really awesome place. I'd really like to come back.
I went to Fort Wayne, Indiana last year, did a really big show with Sammy Adams and Emblem 3 and Jake Miller and a few other people, and that was a really great show. I realized that Fort Wayne is actually a pretty cool town too, so I've never been there before then, and I really want to go back, so hopefully I can do a show there too.
Now, the other thing I wanted to ask is, when you were in Toronto, now here's a funny story for you. So I showed up, and I was totally there, and I had what I thought was, the whole, like, I paid $90 for the tickets, whatever it cost to do the whole meet and greet thing. And they told me when I got there that I couldn't do it, and it was because the Ticketmaster had screwed up my tickets, so I never got a chance to actually meet you. I talked to your mom for probably a good hour. And it was pretty awesome. Like, yeah, she was pretty cool. Like, we were just talked about, yourself, and it was hard to talk because there was hundreds of screaming girls. But I guess I wanted to ask you, what you thought of Toronto and what your time was like up in Canada. I know you weren't there very long.
Wow, that's extremely disappointing. I didn't realize you were at the show.
I was there, but it kind of sucked, man. It was like, because my tickets were screwed up, so I had to go to the box. I had to go to the venue the day of the thing and pick up the tickets, right? But then so I show up, and by the time they had figured stuff out, the meet and greet was already over, and it was just so ridiculous. And I told them, I said, I'm here doing an article for a newspaper on this total event, And so it kind of sucked, but it was, I got to see you perform, which was pretty awesome. I would have loved to, had a chance to see you and chat with you, but your mom was totally floored. She was just wow, that really does suck. I was like, yeah, I paid $90. But what did you think of Toronto?
I like Toronto a lot. I didn't realize what kind of city it was. It's actually a really nice big city, and I don't know. It's really cool. I wish I could spend more time there. I ended up after the show going around Toronto. I ended up getting lost in Toronto actually, but it was really exciting, and I want to go back because I want to try that thing where you get out on the bungee cords or whatever.
Oh yeah, you want to do that on the CN Tower at the edge?
Yeah, I want to do that so bad, and I totally was going to do it if I hadn't have left the next day. But I have a really great vibe about Toronto, and I'll tell you why. Because whenever I got my plane ticket to Toronto, me and my mom were some of the only people on our entire plane. And we sat in row 21, which, that's a big deal. And we landed, got cab number 21, and when we arrived at the hotel, the fare was $21 flat.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
If that's not destiny or something, I don't know what is, because there's a definite good vibe about Toronto. So I have to go back now because that's incredible, and I tell that story all the time.
That's pretty. Now I gotta ask. Now, every time you fly, do you try to get seat number 21 or row 21?
No, I never try because a lot of times my flight is booked by other people or whoever's doing the event that I'm going to.
Right.
And I almost wonder if those people book me for for the 21st seat, but I get it. Like 9 out of 10 times, I'm always row 21, and I'm kind of a little sketched out by it right now because because sometimes there's people that don't even know anything about me who book my flights, and I get row 21. So I don't know. It follows me, but everybody has something that follows them. So whether it's a color or a number or anything, there's always something. So I don't know.
Couple more questions for you here, and then I'm going to let you go. But Peyton, one of the other things that I wanted to ask you is, you've since I've chatted with you, when I first chatted to you back in 2012, where do you think you've grown the most? You sort of touched on it a little earlier, but where do you think you've grown the most as an artist?
Well, I've definitely had my ups and downs. It's been a very interesting journey, and it hasn't really even begun, honestly. But what I've grown the most in is definitely myself as a person and myself as an artist. I've grown more mature, and I've become, more focused. I've just been definitely, whenever I had the idea to do this album, and when I had the whole blueprint set in place, I was like, I can really see this working. And as I kept going, I kept on getting more and more excited and more passionate. And I just had my fans in my mind the whole time, and the people around me, and the people who told me I'd never do anything. I'd go into the booth, and I'd just be thinking about all those people who are with me and all the people who are against me, and what they might feel when they hear this music. And if it didn't feel or sound life-changing to me, I scratched the song and I would redo it. And I think that's what has grown in me the most is my work ethic, because if I'm not feeling the most amazing feeling whenever I make my music, I know everyone else isn't going to feel it either. So if I respect my music and I love my music, I know that the world will too, and my work ethic has definitely increased tremendously.
This is a question from Vanessa in Washington State. This is one of her favorite questions to ask, and it's a tough one. So you're stranded on an island. What are 3 things you do not want to bring with you?
Do not want to bring with me.
They can be 3 things or 3 people, or whatever you want.
3 things I do not want to bring with me. Obviously, my TV's not going to work on an island. I can't bring that. Definitely not milk. A lifetime supply of milk, that'd go bad. Can't have milk, so I gotta get rid of that. No more cereal and milk. Can't have that. The first one will definitely just be like all electronics that need to be plugged in, because that's obvious. And another thing I would not want to bring with me is, wow, this is a difficult question.
It is a tough question.
I will say, oh man, I have no idea. Oh wow. I don't know, I guess my phone. I don't need my phone. Yeah, sure, my phone.
So no electronics, no phone. One more thing.
Wait, one more? Oh, no, wait. No, I said milk. I said milk.
All right.
That's the most random. I give the worst answers ever, I fail.
All right, there's another question off Twitter here that I really liked. This one was really, really good. This one's from Joanne Efron, which is at Efron Mace Twins. What do you do right before you go on stage?
I always listen to Empire State of Mind, which is random because I'm not even from New York, but I listen to Empire State of Mind, or I listen to Numb Encore, which is Linkin Park and Jay-Z. Always a Jay-Z song, because I feel like he's been a part of my whole career, even though he has no idea who I am yet.
You never know.
I just feel like he's been a part of my career because he's the reason why I started trying to rap anyway. And my fans and everybody who've known my story know that I wasn't even trying to do anything whenever I put out that first video. But I'm happy the world saw it, and I'm happy everybody tagged along for the ride because it's been an incredible one. And like I said, it's only the beginning.
This one's from Cassie. She wants to know Bates Motel or Duck Dynasty.
Bates Motel, definitely. I'm a darker kind of person. I like the dark shows. Walking Dead. Those are my shows.
Nice. Okay, when will you unprivate the rest of your old YouTube videos? This is from it's Sarah XO. Sarah Marie XO, excuse me.
The only reason I privated a bunch of my old videos is because I wanted people to focus on the really good videos, especially now that I'm releasing a lot of new stuff. In fact, my fans don't know, but I have a new remix in the works right now that is phenomenal, that we'll have a new music video for it on my channel very soon, and I'm very, very happy for everybody to see this one because I know that it's going to be, it's a feeling of a new season. It's definitely closer to my new sound that I'm coming out with, and I'm going to start releasing a lot more videos now in the meantime, between now and my album, obviously, and I don't know, I just privated all my old videos because I wanted people to focus on the new, and they've been around for the old, and I want all the new fans just to focus on the new because it's so different than all my old stuff that I just don't feel like the old stuff is a part of my new sound, even though it is a part of me. But I don't know. In terms of
I guess your style and your genre of music, do you think that there's a lot of stereotypes with you get the odd person that will say, rappers need to do this and you have to kind of be that bad boy image, you know what I mean? It's kind of like what Bieber's trying to do, but he's not really a rapper. Do you get that a lot, like from I guess fans or whatever? It's like, you're not really a rapper because you don't do this, or do you get that a lot?
No, because I am ATL's bad boy.
I like the cockiness.
I am the bad boy of the A. Come on now. But, I'm a different type of bad boy. Like Peyton Sanders is a character for me. Like Peyton Sanders is me. My fans, when they meet me in person, that's Peyton Sanders. The kid that's on stage, that's Peyton Sanders. That's the bad boy because you'll see it in my eyes. You see that fire in my eyes. And that just aggression in the way I rap and the way that I carry myself and my cadence and everything. That's the bad boy image. You don't have to go out and crash cars and burn places down to be a bad boy, You don't have to crash clubs and throw bottles and do all that kind of stuff. I mean, you can just be you, and if you believe in what you do and the way that you carry yourself and you come out with that fire, that's a real bad boy. You don't have to do anything crazy and get arrested and all that kind of stuff, but you can just be you.
A couple more questions here. Will you ever perform again at Teen Hoot? This is from Tim's tweets.
Teen Hoot is definitely a part of me as well. They got me going and started. That was one of my first shows ever. That was my first show ever back in 2011. And I always will have love for Teen Hoot. But I'm on to, bigger shows now. And I love Teen Hoot to the death. And I think that if you're a new artist, definitely go out and try and be a part of Teen Hoot because they're incredible. But, I'm building up. And with my new single coming out, it's just going to be a higher scale and higher level of shows that I just can't grab with Teen Hoot anymore. I love Teen Hoot though, and I'll never ever talk bad about it because I love Teen Hoot, and I'm sorry I can't go to Teen Hoot anymore, but that's not stopping me from doing a show in Nashville for all you guys either. So.
My final question for you is, and you kind of touched on it, so I'll ask it. What is the advice that you would give artists that are starting out? What would you give to somebody who's 14, 15, 16, they want to be a rapper or into hip-hop, they want to be a hip-hop artist? What kind of advice would you give to them starting out?
Be yourself. If you hear somebody rapping on the radio and you try and mimic that, don't do that. Just try and find something that's you. If it's not you, people aren't going to believe it. Because if I came out there and I was talking about stuff that I've never done and things I've never lived in, cars I've never driven, people are not going to believe that. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear how you are. That's what made Drake so popular, is that he came out there and yes, he did have a lot of lovey-dovey songs, but he was talking about relationships and experiences that he's had. Like me, I'm talking about things that I've gone through and that I relate to. And basically, the one thing that I really need for all those artists out there to do is, work all the time. Work at what you do. write songs. If you don't know how to write songs, try. You'll never know unless you try. So just keep working at what you do and you'll get better and better. When I put out my first video, it was not good at all. But then here I am today, and it gets better. I mean, you have to work at what you do, and the main thing that people have to be concerned with, and like they just need to know what's coming, is that people are always going to tell them that they'll never, ever make it. And sometimes it could come from a teacher or a parent or a friend or somebody, but they have to believe in themselves. And if you believe in yourself, then what's stopping you from being the next big thing? Nothing. You can do whatever you want. So just keep working, kids.
Peyton, anything else that you want to add before I let you go?
Well, everybody, make sure you go and you get Dreams on the 21st of this month, April 21st. It comes out. I'll be tweeting about it all day that day. You can hear it for the first time here, hopefully, or the second time, or third time, however many times you guys have heard it. Definitely tweet me your opinions after it plays on here. I thank you all for listening. This is Peyton Sanders, and this is our year. Let's go. Peyton,
thanks a lot for taking the time to do this. Don't hang up just yet. Well, you can hang up, but I'll call you. I'm going to call you right back. Thanks a lot for doing this. It's always a privilege to talk to you.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks a lot, and take care.
Take care.
And there you have it. That is Peyton Sanders. So we'll be playing the song Dreams right up after this. And, of course, this is a pre-recorded episode. So thanks a lot for listening to Radio Nation. This is your host, Nicholas Pescod, saying so long and good night. This is Dreams coming up next. And then after that, it'll be server music. So thanks again for listening to Radio Nation. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Radio_Nation. Here it is, Peyton Sanders, Dreams.
Yeah, them other dudes they try, but they not it. Yeah, them other dudes they try, but they not it. Yeah, them other dudes they try, but they not it. Yeah, them other dudes they try, but they not it.
Yeah, okay. Put your feet up, relax, grab a drink and get comfortable. Let me tell you about my fetish, look, I always wanted to have the finest ladies riding in my Mercedes, but something about these pop princesses got me crazy. I have Lady Gaga naked cooking me pasta, and me and Rihanna could live life like the Rastas. You know what I'm on, Kesha, let's get it on. And I can't breathe Kelly Clarkson since you've been gone. Demi Lovato, if I got you, I swear it'd be like winning the lotto. Nachos and tacos for me and Jennifer Lopez. Maybe we could get together with Selena Gomez and make Miley Cyrus jealous. Not like them other fellas, I'm laughing with Tina Fey. And next Sunday I'm having brunch with Lana Del Rey. It's safe to say that it's more than a habit. Billboard 100 pop goddess, gotta have it. Dreams of loving a pop princess. I'm just playing, I'm saying. Dreams of loving a pop princess. I'm just playing, I'm saying. Dreams of loving a pop princess. I'm just playing, I'm saying. Dreams of loving a pop princess. I'm just playing, I'm saying. Victoria Justice, I do her body justice. And have Vanessa Hudgens strutting, baking me muffin. Believe it's nothing, these singers I be handling are nomadic, they get stuck like mannequins. Taylor Swift and Katy Perry are both blowing up my phone line trying to marry, but I can't be held accountable for my actions, cause every time I see a pop star that's when accidents happen. So if Ariana Grande comes my way, she gon' hit the notes Mariah did in her heyday. Christina Aguilera, what more can I say? I know what a girl wants and needs, shopping sprees. Before you know it, she'll be walking around in my 21 T's. Then it's on to the next chick. Break knees, she whipped me right in the cockpit. Yeah, them other dudes, they try, but they not it. Yeah, them other dudes, they try, but they not it. Yeah, them other dudes, they try, but they not it. Yeah, them other dudes, they try, but they not it. Dreams of loving a pop princess. I'm just playing, I'm saying. Dreams of loving a pop princess. I'm just playing, I'm saying. Dreams of loving a pop princess. I'm just playing.